Welcome to another episode of the Walk the Line podcast. Today's topic will be your season just ended, and now what are you supposed to do as a player? Um, Obviously, you've been grinding it out the last 6, 7, 8 months, seeing the same guys every day. You got school, you got stuff your parents are asking you to do. Um, and now your hockey season's over. So a big part of your life has just ended. You know, you're skating twice a week and seeing the same buddies and trying to compete with each other, and now it quickly comes to an end. So the question is, what are you supposed to do now? Um, Obviously, you put your body through a lot of things during the year. Stress, you're getting blocked or you're blocking pucks, and you're getting hit, and you're tired, you're up, you're practicing, you're waking up early to go to games. You put a lot on your body, and you don't even realize the stress that you're putting on yourself and what your body's going through, because hopefully you're having fun while doing all those things. But the first thing you need to do once the season's over, your team party's done, you get off the ice for the last time, take a break. It's different for everybody. It might be a week, it might be 2 weeks, it could be a month. For some people, they're itching to get back in a few days, but you need to take a break, relax, don't put your skates on, don't touch a stick. Um, and that's good for a couple of reasons. One, it gives your body a break, it gives your mind a break. Let go of some of that stress from the last tournament or your playoffs or whatever it may be. Um, but also, I mean, your body takes a beating. Gives your body time to heal and regroup, and start thinking about what next year's going to bring. Um, so take a break. You need a few days off. Um, and then for a lot of people too, as the end of the year comes, depending on how your season's going, it can mentally wear on you. And sometimes, unfortunately, you don't always want to come to the rink at the end of the year, or you'd rather do something else and go hang out with your friends outside of hockey. Taking a break will allow you to get that itch back, that drive to want to get back to the rink and work out and start working on your game again. So number one thing, the season's over, take some sort of break. Um, here in Nashville, we have, and I'm sure it's the same elsewhere, season ends, but then tryouts are right around the corner. Here we have about a month off until we get tryouts going again, and then after that, you have a few more months off, and then the season, starts right back up. But in that time where your season's over and you're waiting for tryouts to come and you're taking that break, that doesn't mean you need to take a break from everything athletically. Um, Go play basketball, go throw a football. Do not just sit in front of your TV and play video games for 3 weeks straight. You know, Go outside, be a kid, do other things to improve, your athletic ability. You could, if you're playing soccer, all that footwork, all that running, you can use those skills that you pick up from other sports and take that into your game on the ice. Um, Sticking with the soccer example, you're good with your feet. You can catch pucks in your feet. You're working on your endurance, running around the field. You're working on your sense of the game, spacing, where guys are spread out all over the field and where to put the ball in places where your teammate can get it. That all feeds into what could help you on the ice. So play other sports. Do something else besides hockey. Uh, Refresh your brain and do something else. So when you get back on the ice, you're in a clear mindset. Your body's ready to go, and you may have picked up a few other skills on the way. The third thing that I don't think a lot of kids do this now, and it shows, is watch hockey. Watch NHL games. They're on ESPN Plus. They're on your local sports network. Just watch a game and learn. So many kids now want to, just play the game and listen to coach and just see how it goes. But you can learn so much from watching someone who gets paid millions of dollars to do what they do in your own sport. You pick up on little tricks of the game and finding where passing lanes are on the ice and where to move and where to be. And, even if you're not playing at a super high level and a lot of that stuff won't translate, watch how hard those guys work. Pick things up, pick little things out of somebody's game. I was with my Pee Wee team 2 weeks ago, and we had the opportunity to go see a Notre Dame, Division I hockey game when we were up there for a tournament. And a lot of those kids, that was their first college hockey game at that level that they've ever seen. Um, and we asked our players to just pick one guy on each team or one guy on Notre Dame that plays your position, and every time he's on the ice, watch where he goes. And that gave them the ability to enjoy and watch the game when their player wasn't on the ice. But when that guy was on the ice, maybe they were learning something. They weren't, obviously they wanted to be there and have fun and watch the game, which was an exciting one. Um, but picking up what those guys do at that level that's 10 steps ahead of where our guys are now. Um, and little things, not just obviously they're skilled and and they deserve to be there, but all those little things that they can control that they do well, working hard and making tape to tape passes and finishing their hits, um, and just watching someone else at that level where some of our players may want to get to the level, doing those little things can really go a long way. And plus, it just reinforces us as coaches when we're asking our youth players to forecheck, back check, block shots, and then it's some kids are just like, yeah, I don't have to do that. But when you go watch those games and you're watching it on TV and you see those guys who are getting scholarships and getting drafted and getting paid in the NHL and they're doing those little things, um, it often serves as a wake up call of like, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. Uh, so again, watching hockey, picking up on certain little plays, developing your hockey sense, learning the game at a different level. Um, but I think another key point is you don't have to just watch NHL games or college games. I talked about it on a previous podcast. A majority of your own games are on film somewhere, whether it's a parent filming, whether it's Live Barn, whether it's My Hockey TV, whether it's a security camera. I don't think enough players right now are watching themselves play. Um, you can pick up on so many things that you think you're doing. You think this is how you look. You think this is how your stride looks. You thought you were there on the ice. But when you actually get your own eyes to look at what you're doing, it could really change the way you think about yourself as a player. If you think you're back checking hard and you come off the ice and your coach, may give it to you a little bit verbally and you thought you were back checking, maybe you watch that game film back and see, okay, yeah, you're right. I probably could be going a little bit harder to get back in the play. So watch your own game. Not saying you have to watch all of them, watch every shift. But even if it's just the last game you play, the last game of the season, watch and see what you look like. And it should give you some cues on what you should try to improve on. Um, and also just give you a better mindset of what you look like on the ice. Again, in a previous podcast, we mentioned body language. If you have bad body language, it is very apparent on film. There's no hiding from it. If you throw your hands up in the air, if you're yelling at your teammates on the ice, it looks terrible. And I've actually had an experience with myself where I was playing and what I think in my head looks like a nice calm conversation with the teammate, or if I'm didn't get a call I wanted, it, it shows on film. You can't hide from it. So I think, again, number one, most important thing when the season's over, take a break. Number two, play other sports. Do something else. You can do something else with the mindset of improving your hockey game and not be playing hockey. Lacrosse is a great example. The games are very similar. It's physical. You're using your hands. There's an athletic sense going on there. Where to move the ball. Um, you can do other things and improve your hockey game without playing hockey. Um, watch hockey. Watch hockey. NHL games, college games. Watch your own games. You can pick up a lot there. And then when all that is said and done and you're ready to go and you're starting to maybe think about training, or you already are training and getting stronger for tryouts, now's the time you start putting in that work again, get revved back up, get ready for tryouts. Um, and we could talk probably in another podcast about how to get ready for tryouts and what to do in tryouts. Um, but once you've taken your break and you've given yourself um, uh, a mental vacation from the game, that's when you can, and you feel good and you feel like you're ready to get back. That's when you can start to get ready for tryouts in upcoming season. So short podcast today, but just wanted to get that out there as a lot of seasons are coming to an end and tryouts are quickly approaching. Um, but that is today's episode. If you have any questions, our email is in the show notes, 307sports.hockey@gmail.com. Happy to hear any topics you'd like to hear discussed. And everyone have a great rest of your day.